He went to line up interviews. He's going to try to get some. He wanted to try and get some of the Duchesne girls to come talk. So Milford, ball taken away.
This should be a good game, and you never know in this tournament.
No, you really don't, do you? Rebound comes down to Collett. That's Catron pushing up the floor.
Catron, again, comes from a long family of basketball players playing in her last basketball game. And the winner of this game, and this is, I know it's, people say, well, who cares about 5th and 7th, really? Yeah. Well, if you can finish your game for Milford beating Manila or Manila beating Milford, either way, I mean, these are two teams that could have been in the state championship game. Two good basketball programs, two good teams.
Catron just splits the defenders, goes around them, and just over the top of the basket. Rebound Tia Florence.
Florence came in with a tough rebound there.
We had the opportunity to interview a bunch of these girls here a little bit ago.
Another senior for Manila, just real quick, sorry to cut you off, but boy, coast to coast, and Reed does a good job finishing that one. Yeah, that was interesting. Listen to that interview with those Milford girls.
Yeah, they tipped out of bounds off of Collett. Play from Florence. Florence, she you're trying to read my chicken scratch there, Gary? Rose blocked by Collett. Collett gets the rebound.
Florence must be wearing 13, right?
She is. She's usually wearing 14.
Now I'm in business.
There you go. I see what you were trying to figure out. I could see the gears turning, but I wasn't.
All right. Henry over to Reed. Reed back out to Hullinger.
Reed, right side looks. Tries to get around Sherwood. Corner, Hullinger. Dribbles. Reed. Catron. Number 1 is Henry. Reed fakes. Tough defense by the Tigers. At times that's looking like a 2-3 zone, but they're playing it like a man defense, so.
Right, yeah. And, that's the way, when you're playing a really good zone, that's the way it should be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Reed got caught with a shuffle.
Tiger ball. So Manila trying to put a little full court pressure on the Tigers. And the Tigers have got a good guard lineup. Ball goes right between Rose's legs.
Catron just hits the deck on two people, didn't see each other there. And
Neto rims out.
Well, that went about as far down inside that cylinder as you can get and came back.
Isn't it interesting how, it did. It was in and popped right back up out. Like the spin on it finally caught the rim and just spun it up out of there. 4:40 to go in the first quarter. We're gonna have to keep score till so you click on.
Well, we're gonna tell you the score till they get back. I'm on the wrong side here. Henry trying to get us.
Blocking foul going to be called on Catron. Or no, Collett. Sorry. So that'll put Kennedy Neto at the line, shooting 2. First shot up's good. Second shot off, rebound Collett. Catron.
And that was nice interviewing the Manila girls too. And
absolutely.
Understand
I'm
goes
glad.
on with that red towel and how that works out.
Yeah, I've been really interested about that red towel because I knew it had to be something more than just passing it.
You're right. Here's someone coming in. So, yeah, absolutely. That was a great job. Find that out. And good job by the coach putting some meaning into what's going on, or whoever's idea that was.
Florence inlet to.
That was Henry that got her hand on that. Since she brought it down too far, reached over and slapped that out. And again, that's why the coach tells you, don't bring it down.
Yeah, and Neto, instead of chinning that ball or keeping it high, brought it down, and Henry able to swat it away. Reed. Hollinger.
Collett's going to have a big game in order for Manila to
Yeah.
win this.
Into Collett, knocked away by Florence. Still loose, picked up by Florence. Great hustle by Florence there to stay with it. Neto to Sherwood, has it knocked away by Henry.
Henry, good job in getting the steal. Crossover, trying to finish.
Oh, saved
Kick it out
inbounds to Reed by the Tigers.
Catron for three, but she was in the wrong three-point line, remember?
Yeah. Boy, do I remember.
And again, shot short.
Neto, 18-footer, right wing. Right side Reed, Henry. Looks. Picks up her dribble, loses it. Reed, and they're going to get Sherwood.
She's going to get caught on the shove on that one.
Foul on Shyla Sherwood, her first. And for the Tigers, number 15, Mikhail Davis.
Hollinger to Reed. Over the top of Collett, out of bounds.
You know, Manila's good that they're trying to go into Collett because she is. I think that's going to be able to help them open things up. She's got to have a big game. Just out of her reach on that one.
Neto, cross court front to Rose, down to Sherwood. Davis into the game for the Tigers. Collett with the rebound.
Big rebound, right. Just after that miss, just coming up short is
Who are you looking for there?
15.
That's Davis. Catron fouled by Davis.
Personal foul on Mikhail Davis, her first. At the line, shooting two for Milford, number 23, Emily Catron.
So Emily trying to take the lead here, but for the Mustangs, a couple free throws. Can't do it.
Denny checks in for the Tigers. Number 15, Michaela Gonder, checks in for the Mustangs. And number 20, Samantha Hughes. Second shot on the way, good. It's a tie ball game. Another low-scoring affair.
Oh, absolutely. The minute left. 3-3. Mustangs in a tight zone.
Sherwood, baseline fakes, bounce pass into Neto, dribbles once.
Boy, she did a good job splitting the defenders.
She did. I didn't see the.
I didn't see the travel.
She
myself.
dribbled and took the
and
shot.
And the coach was kind of complained about that too. But you know, she may have drugged that pivot foot right before she took off, and that's maybe what the ref saw. Hughes from the wing.
Hollinger. Right side Reed, looks back to Hollinger, drives herself, pulls up baseline short, rebound Rose. Rose pushing the other way. Pulls up, nice defense and smart play by Rose to pull up, short just off the mark.
Three-pointer.
Off the left side. Started to say good because it looked like
good. Hollinger comes down to rebound.
Catron dribbles it off of Davis's foot.
And we got a confusion by the refs. Both one's pointing one way and one's pointing the other, but they're going to go with the up ref. Said, oh, that's fine, you saw it better than I did.
Call it back in the game for the Mustangs. Pass over the top. Catron at the buzzer.
Right, yeah, I'm looking at it. Of course that was the right shot. I thought, boy, that was a deep one. Didn't look at the clock.
She didn't have much chance to do anything different, did she?
As an old point guard, I should have known better.
Friendly service for the entire family. They come to the Beaver area right there next to Milford. They have a remote office there as Florence shot up just off the mark. Saved in bounds. Picked up by Hollinger out to Catron. Nice pass to Collette. Collette. She's going to draw the foul.
Boy, if Collette could have come up with her left hand on that one.
Yeah. She did a good job getting stopped and not traveling and just a little off balance.
So coming up at halftime, folks, we're going to be talking with the Rich Rebel coach and a couple of his seniors. Collette with her first free throw going in.
So do we get that lined up then? Have we got?
Yeah, they'll be here right as
Awesome.
soon as this stops.
Hopefully you folks are enjoying that as much as we are, because we're having fun with it, hopefully. Samantha.
Reed getting it over to Catron. Reverse
Hughes loses the handle, saved off of Neto out of bounds.
Good job by Hughes to kick that off of her knee.
Hollinger looks to Reed, over the top to Catron. Back to Hollinger, in to Reed, spins, guarded by Florence, blocked by Florence, and then she gets to the rebound.
You know, instead of coming down, that's a perfect block. You jump up, block that, and then you can give your team a possession. Instead of, you know, a lot of times, especially the boys,
They like to swat that
They want to
hard.
swat it and make it.
Oh, but that swat's so much fancier. It adds a possession. Rose in the paint, good.
And pick up two just like that. Having that possession. Hollinger over to Reed. Trying to find a way to get Collette in the game. Well, good back cut by Reed.
Taken away by...
Hughes just saw that too late.
Yeah.
Tigers closed in on it.
Tigers able to step in front of the ball. Neto draws the foul as Catron tries to slide down and cut off that baseline. The right idea, just a step late.
First shot up and no good by Neto.
Neto usually a really good foul shooter. So Becca Wright, the senior, checks in for the Tigers, and Denny as the seat.
You know, neither team having their best offensive performance they've ever put out with. I mean, the defense has something to do with it, certainly, as we're seeing it right there. But,
tipped away, yeah, by Neto or Rose. You know, this was one game I just wasn't quite sure. I thought it was going to be this tight, but it was like, you just never know.
You never, especially as we watched Paiute put the pressure on Manila. As Manila had that pretty good lead, and Paiute able to really get a bunch of points off of pressuring 3/4, half court.
Yeah.
Any pressure they put anywhere was problems for Manila.
Neto in the corner looks. They're overloading Florence on that side. Back to Neto. 3-point shot up. Hard off the back iron.
If that 3-pointer starts going in, Manila would be in trouble. Boy, she's got two people out all alone.
Hughes for 2.
Milford with a little too much pressure in the backcourt.
Yeah, someone forgot to get back. Rose, Sherwood, right to Neto in the paint, dribbles once, blocked and foul on Collett.
Free throw up and good by Neto. As you said, she's a good foul shooter and showed it there. Extends or takes the lead back over, 7-6.
So I just got confirmation. We're also going to have a treat. 3 of the Duchesne Eagle seniors are going to come up and talk to us at halftime too, Gary. So we'll have to fit in. Try to fit in as much as we can.
Absolutely. Reed underneath to Collett. Collett, again, we thought that she's going to have a pretty good game. And
left side Rose fakes, 15-footer, good.
Stands the lead to 4. Coach Hughes would have seen enough. I don't want this game to get out of hand here, so calling a timeout.
I think Milford's on there.
Hughes from the corner over to Reed. A lot of pressure. Reed breaks it, forces one up, and no good. Little contact, no call. Rebound off to Florence. Now Rose for 3. In and out. Florence with rebound, puts it back up and in.
I guess you could select it.
So doubling them up are the Milford Tigers, 12-6 now, with a chance to go to 13 because they're going to count that bucket.
So a 2-and-1 opportunity for Sherwood.
Boy, I called her Florence. Sherwood, I'm sorry. And Florence got the rebound on the other end, and I had that name in my head, and it was.
No, I didn't hear you. I was working on ads with David. So wasn't trying to correct you there.
No, I'm glad you did. Called her the wrong name twice.
Reed and Collett, rebound Rose.
And the Manila Mustangs just cannot buy a basket.
Rose, 3-point shot up, good.
Threatening to
3:20
take the game away. Now it was 6-6. Now it's a 10-0 run.
Yeah, the Tigers, if they get hot. Hughes taken away by Rose, gives to Neto. Neto crossover, drive in, blocking foul on Hughes.
Well, the Achilles heel all season for the Manila Mustangs has been the pressure in the backcourt, and that's Milford sure getting some here.
Absolutely.
Checking in for Manila, number 12, Ashley Milford.
I need to lead a picture. No idea. I'll just stay past that.
Shot up and good by Neto.
So Neto makes 1 of 2. .312 to go in the second quarter. 11-0 run for the Tigers. Pass in, knocked away by Sherwood. to right. So another turnover. Right, drives in, pulls up, 15 foot, off the back iron, rebound Reed. Gives to Catron. Reed.
Somebody, anybody needs to find some offense for Manila. They just don't seem to have.
Pass into Catron, loses the handle. They're going to get her for a travel as Collette goes to the ground. Little contact there, no call. But they're letting that go on both ends. They're letting them play. Looks to me like.
Yeah, I mean, it could have gone either way there. Just happened to be called the travel instead of the push. 17-6. Boy, Milford popped up by 11 points in a hurry.
Yeah, they did. Rose in the corner. Sherwood, Neto drives in, charging foul on Neto, and Collette hit the floor.
Great job by Collette to be ready for that.
Player control foul on Kennedy Neto, her first.
That's the hardest part. I don't know how you're going to be able to do that.
I've been
Just barely want to say it past mine, so like,
Oh, that's fine.
it's on sidecast. And I think it's going to be hard at first, but then you'll just get used to it. So when you talk right now, you'll see kind of the red that sounds really as you want to be.
Hollinger over to Henry. Boy, they got to find some way to score here. Henry, dribble drive. They're going to call the push before.
Personal foul on Kennedy Neto, her second.
Minute 50 left. Coming up right at halftime. Going to have the Rich Rebel coach and a couple of his seniors hang with us.
Who hit the last bucket down here for the Tigers? Is it Neto?
I thought it was Neto.
Bounce pass taken away. Picked up by Davis. Good defense by Rose to knock that ball away.
Oh, she got
Neto
like a
left
travel.
side. Kicks to Rose. 3-point shot up. Toe was on the line. Short. And
Catron with the rebound.
13-0 run. Reed looks in to call it. Henry.
Good takeaway. Henry trying to go into
A little bit of a
Catron.
reach there as the Neto just hard off the backboard. Rebound Mustangs. 1:06 to go first half. Just a minute away from what should be a good interview.
three-pointer on the way. They need one. Can't get that to go.
Long rebound Rose. If you want to make your way to the studio, Gary, and be ready for that interview, I think I can handle the 40 seconds here.
Let's do that.
We got 2 interviews we're going to try and cram in here. So Rose to Sherwood. Neto holds. Rose. Milford going for one shot here. Sherwood. Saved. And she's on the line. So it'll be Tiger ball right there.
Denver Milford, number 5, J.C. Penny.
6 seconds. Bounce pass high. Out of bounds. Call it with the rebound. So Wow, folks, not much time between that. Sorry, but back to the action here. Jump ball. The alternating possession go the Tigers. Neto. Sherwood. Back to Neto. Pass ahead. Florence taken away by Collett. Ahead, taken back by Neto. Neto regains control. And that is Henry on the floor. Looks like she hit her head. A little bit of blood. So with that, we'll should we break to these sponsors here just for a second while they get that cleaned up.
Henry, a sophomore for the Mustangs, and Mustangs have some seniors out there for
folks,
sure. Lopez is a senior for them.
Not much time between
Reed, Janelle Reed.
That, sorry, but back to the action here.
Catron.
Passing. Yeah.
But big loss will be Catron and Reed in that program.
Absolutely. Neto, three-point shot on the way. Just rims off the right side. Rebound Hughes. Taken away by Rebecca Wright. And then away from her by Catron.
Well, Manila's got to find some offense. 6 points for a whole half is just...
Hollinger buries it through. There you go.
I mean, I don't know if they played that bad offensively in all season. And they have dug him a pretty good hole. Well, almost got the and one.
You know, but even though they only scored 6 points in the first half, they still only trailed by 13.
Right.
We've seen larger leads
Absolutely.
deteriorate.
I mean, really, they're down 10 and still 6 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah.
We saw a switch with it was Paiute was down 9 and within 2.5 minutes went up. Yeah, Craven halftime.
I just need to find
Craven in between games.
between me.
You can do Craven between games?
Oh, I forgot.
Or maybe he'd rather do it at halftime here. Either one. You might rather do it before the game.
Should we go Paiute in between? I'll go try and find them. If they're here. If they're not here, they're going to say.
29.
Catron. I thought you were saying like
20,
29. Wow, they scored 9 points. No, 20 to
20-9. There you go. Yeah, that didn't sound right. And Manila is still trying to find some offense. Got that 1 3-pointer so far this half. Really need to get some more.
Neto in the paint,
play.
bounce, nice. Wow.
Well,
Two beautiful bounce passes.
Absolutely.
Florence gave up a 3-foot shot to give it to Becca Wright on the right side. You know, I was impressed. These girls from Milford, they're like, hey, we're friends. We've been together, and most of these teams are really that way. They get along so well, and of course they're girls. There's always probably a little
right.
But pass ahead to Florence.
Not to say that right, like Mel Chauvinist.
Yeah,
us boys do that too. But yeah, it's always high school stuff going on. But so Milford, after the 3, has kind of come back with a 6-point or 5-point run in the banking industry because they know that. And you need to do the same with your business. If you want to advertise with us, info@mysportsguys.com.
Catron Long three-point shot up by Hollinger. Good.
She's feeling it. It's like if we usually it's the post play that pulls them into it, and their post players have not scored much. I don't think but 2 points in this whole game.
Florence tipped by Hollinger. So Hollinger trying to. She's not quitting.
I mean, Collett and Reed and has got to get some post play going in order for this to open up.
Pass taken away by Sherwood. Rose to Sherwood. Neto. To Florence. Sherwood fakes. Rose. Up top, Becker right. Right side, Neto. Milford can afford to be patient. Florence, nice high to low as Neto cut.
Yeah, nice cut in the basket, perfect time, wide open she was.
Florence drew that defense up, and Neto just filled the void left there.
Yeah, and you never know who's going to respond to these. Once you are not playing for that state championship game, the rest of it is just
It's all about
pride.
Yeah.
And certainly Milford has been the one showing up today in this game so far.
In for Milford, number 15, Miguel Davis.
The next game is the Rich Rebels and the
Layton Christian Eagles. Layton Christian actually matches up fairly well with Rich. It could be a great game.
Yeah, that should be a good game, or very well could be. They're going to get Becca right with a foul.
Personal foul on Becca Wright, her first.
Ball
26
taken away as Reed
sorry.
goes to the floor.
26-12 ball game with 2:53 left in the third quarter.
Rose looks into Davis, guarded by Collett. Cross court to Neto.
Boy, she got away with the double dribble. Picked it up and
Sherwood rims out, rebound Collett. Great job on the board that time. There was not a white shirt that didn't have a body on him that was around the basket. You know, Davis with the blocking foul.
well, and I mentioned they were going to have to get some big play from their post players. Manila's just not getting it done.
Up top, Catron looks at the three, takes it. High off the backboard, follows her shot well, gets the board, puts it in, and rolls out
boy,
the
I
front.
thought she was going to put it in.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Neto, bounce pass to Becker. Trailer, rebound, Reed. So that was a pretty pass, and Becker Wright just unable to convert on the layup. Underneath, Hughes is fouled.
Just can't get it to go down. Try to pick up a couple of points here, and really, they're not out of this yet.
No,
They've only scored 12 points, but they are not out of it, which is
no, nowhere near out of it. I mean, you're only talking a 14-point ball game with well over a quarter to play. They've got to make their free throws and hit some shots in order to do it, though.
there's been a lid on the basket for the Manila Mustangs.
Second shot up. She makes that one.
(26-13) has them doubled up again. Too many people for Reed to cover. She can't cover them both, and
Danny, number 5 for the Tigers, lays that one in.
boy, that was a crash and trip by Denny on Catron. It's rough out there.
Yeah, it is. Hughes looked. I thought she was going to take that. Gives to Catron. Hughes. Reed, lob inside. Nice inlet to Collett. And she's going to be fouled by Davis.
And Collett's been playing big for him all year. Has she scored?
Foul on Mikel Davis, her fourth.
2.
She got 2?
No, sorry. Collett. Yeah, she has 2. You know, it's fun to watch the Milford crowd here, Gary. I don't know if you were watching the other night when it's a tight ball game and they get going. The crowd that isn't even in the cheering section, they all do the same cheers. They all and they have such a great following. Milford probably has one of the better followings here at this tournament.
And they always have.
Yeah.
The boys program as well.
They just support their kids so well. Cross court, Neto. 14-point ball game, 42 seconds to go, third quarter.
It is interesting that they do. They have the kids cheering section, and then they have the Reed with the steal.
And she'll go down and lay that up with the right. 2. But they were doing a defense cheer the other night or something. The whole half of the gym.
Yeah, no, it is fun to watch. It's like they have the high school cheering section, they have the parents cheering section. They do a good job for them. So.
Yeah. The program for the Tigers. I know most of them without even looking, but a couple of them. Pass taken away by Danny as she just slides right on through with Catron.
Yeah, Milford Tigers have picked up that run where they send that wing through offense, and they're reading that well before, and Manila's still trying to force that in. Into 3, 28-16.
Bullseye Pest Control, Jeff Moore. Some great sponsors behind the Tigers in Region 20. Catron, 3-point shot up, good. So the Tigers going to have to slide out and start putting some more pressure outside, Dave, if they want to keep this lead. That's the third 3-point this half made by the Mustangs.
Yeah, they can't give them that much room on the outside of them, lock it down.
You know, Manila hasn't shot that many. And so I think Tigers have kind of fallen back, and all of a sudden, Tia Florence with a putback, and she'll draw the foul.
Personal foul on Rebecca Collett, her third at the line, shooting to Tia Florence.
So Gary, David stepped in here for Gary. Gary's off trying to line up interviews. Is that where he went?
Yeah, with Coach Craven from the St. Joseph Jayhawks. So stick with us here in between games. We'll have a great pre-game interview. We hope you enjoy the visits to the studio.
Yeah, we're having fun with it. Of course, it's a little nervous. I get a little nervous. I'll admit it, Dave.
So Florence hits both of them, right?
Yeah.
Tigers wanting to travel on that. Looks like she held her foot. That's going to be a 5-second call. Good job by the Tigers defensively.
Wow, mass substitution for the Mustangs. Number 15. So that's Gonder, Hughes, Thomas, Burnside, underneath the Florence for 2 and foul. 2 and 1 for the.
You notice the Tigers that time didn't try to dribble up the floor, Mike. It was all passes and able to get the quick bucket and foul.
Basket's good. Line shooting 1.
So I think they were trying. The Mustangs were trying to do a quick substitution and put that press on, do an offensive, defensive maybe. Is that?
Yeah. You know, that the other lineup looked a little smaller and quicker, but
Florence is shot off. Catron ahead to Henry for the basket.
the Tigers, you know, got to get back on that defensively.
Neto.
There's going to be a foul call. They'll push from behind, looks like.
Foul going to be on Hollinger.
Looks like their feet got tangled up more than a push.
Yeah, there was. Lob over to Rose. Rose to right. Tipped. Ball loose. Picked up by Collett. Collett picks up her dribble. Gives to Hollinger. Reed.
Great move
Neto.
by Florence, falling out of bounds, throws it back into Neto.
Neto shot just does not fall. You know, she avoided the defender. She probably should have just given that up to Wright on the left side with the bounce pass. Wasn't it Henry that was out with the
cut eye?
Cut eye. And Catron called for travel. It was Henry.
Yeah, she's kind of grabbing the side of her head occasionally, making sure the Band-Aid's still there or whatever.
Yeah, that can just bleed so easy. Nice pass to Wright to Florence for the lay-in.
Florence gives a little head fake. The defender blows by and she lays it up.
That right there on the crest of the eye, that can split. You know, if you hit that just right, it'll just split. Timeout, Mustangs. Tigers lead by 13, 5:15 to go in the ball game. Taken away by Sherwood. Rose. Neto. Rose looks in. Cross court skip past Neto. Catches, drives, baseline. Right. Rose sets. Just rims out. Rebound Collett.
4:40 to go in the game.
Catron goes to the floor and still able to save her dribble.
Rose helps her up. Pats her on the back. It's going to be Chandler Rose's first foul, Mike.
4:33 to go in the ball game. Catron into Reed for two. Rose ahead to right to Florence, down with her left hand up and over the top of the basket. Hollinger. Little pressure by Wright. Catron has it knocked away by Neto, picked up by Reed. 4 minutes to go in the ball game. Lob inside to Collett. Florence straight up, blocks her again. Florence just stands in there straight up. Perfect defense on the low post by Florence that time, Dave.
Yeah, that was Mike. Held her hands straight up.
Rose, 18-footer, right side, over the top. Rebound Florence. Reaches around and gets it. Rebound Hollinger. Pass ahead out of Henry's hands, out of bounds. Cross court, tipped away by Reed. Fischel did a good job getting out of the way that time. Contact by Rose, and then she fouls Hollinger. So 3:11 to go. Tigers only lead by 11. That's not an insurmountable lead for the Mustangs, Dave.
It's not an insurmountable task for the Mustangs to cut into that lead.
Is that, would that be
I
the,
don't know. I'm just kidding. Yeah, Mustangs definitely not out of this game yet, Mike. Back to a 10-point lead.
Shot up off the back iron, rebound tip, picked up by Florence. So a miss by the Tigers, and the Mustangs push it back the other way. And Neto goes to the ground hard. And they give the blocking foul to Neto. 6th team foul on the Tigers.
Personal foul on Kennedy Neto, her third. At the line, shooting 2.
2:51 to go in the ball game.
Shooting from the line.
I think I just did. I couldn't tell it.
Foul shots by Catron. And 1-1 rims out. So pass to Neto, to Rose. Neto, back to Rose. Right. Up top Rose. 2:34 to go in the ball game. Bounce pass into Florence. She turns, looks, bounce pass back to right baseline, loses the handle, out of bounds. 2:25 to go in the ball game. Catron picks up her dribble. Hollinger, lob over the top. Nice pass in to call it. 2:06 to go in the ball game. 8-point lead for the Tigers. Can you move that ad to a different one, Dave? David's our tech guy for, well, one of our tech guys. He's working on getting ads ready. I don't think if you hit it harder, it'll make it work.
Sorry, guys, I'm being quiet. It's probably a good thing. Sherwood.
Ball tipped away by Hollinger. So the Manila Mustangs not going to quit on this basketball game. They're going to fight right to the end. 2:05 to go, only trailing by 8. All into Rose. Pass ahead to Florence. Back to Neto. Neto drives down, scoops hard off the backboard. Rebound, call it. So 1:53, pass ahead, blocked by Neto and fouled. So that'll be Henry going to the line. Not quite sure, Dave, why Milford in such a rush to get a shot. I know that was kind of a fast break, but it's like 2-on-2. You know,
yeah, you know, just you're under 2 minutes, use the clock.
8-point lead. If it's a 1-point lead, yeah, you probably need to get some points scored, but with an 8-point lead. Shot off the mark, rebound, Hollinger out of bounds. Tiger ball.
7-point game. The Mustangs stomping their way back into this, Mike.
Yeah, they are. They're over the top to Rose. To Reed, ahead to Sherwood. Wow, in midair.
The ball was in the air. Bruff calls a.
Well, no, she was in the air going out of bounds. I think he called it as she had possession before she went out of bounds. That was a good call by Bruff because he would have lost that possession. 1:42 to go. 7-point lead for the Tigers. Could be a good game as it goes on, and Neto fouled by Hullinger. 2 more great basketball games to go. So Manila did a good enough job not fouling. They've got another foul to give before they can even get into the bonus to start. Pass into Rose, back to Sherwood, to Neto, to Rose. Florence dribbles once, goes up, foul. Good if it goes, and it doesn't. But Catron with the foul.
Florence line shooting 2.
Catron was one of the girls that was up here that you were able to interview from Manila, wasn't it, Dave?
Yeah, I believe so. And Reed. That was kind of neat with the towel.
Yeah, it was.
That was really cool.
I didn't catch that. It was hard to hear. We don't hear.
Well, what it was is, the towel represents. For every game, they write a name on the towel.
Okay.
Who fulfilled their role the best in that game.
So it's the same towel.
Same towel.
That just keeps getting another name put on it.
Yeah, they've used it all year.
Short, saved in, out of bounds off of Florence.
So they add a player each game of who.
So some of their names are probably on there multiple times.
Yeah, I asked Reed if they're on there multiple times. She said they were. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah. Over the top, pass out in front. Chandler Rose comes out there with it. And knocked out of bounds from behind.
And he gives that to the Mustangs. Looked like they tipped it out of her hand.
Yeah. Nine-point ball game, 1:06 to go.
And at the end of the year, Mike, they're going to hang that towel on the wall.
Right, in
their locker room. Just a reminder of their season and the success they had by
cool.
fulfilling their individual roles. So that's kind of cool. I think you'll find teams be successful that everybody's not competing for that same role. You need to understand your role.
Absolutely.
Fulfill that role. And together, collectively.
No matter how small or big that role may be, huh?
Yeah. Collectively, you'll be successful.
That's the thing that you can use high school athletics, high school basketball, team sports to help people understand that, and these kids learn that, man, sometimes you need to be the one pushing, sometimes you need to be the one pulling.
Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes your role on the basketball team may just be to practice as hard as you can in practice to make the other players better, to work the starters.
Definitely.
So they're not all 14 girls on the bench over there, or how many ever can start the basketball game, but when they get their minute or whatever, they can do the best they can. Philosophy from Mike Alston.
Deep thoughts by Mike Alston.
Taken away by Neto. 58 seconds to go. Reach in foul on Hullinger.
And Gary McKee said, the Reed and
Catron.
Catron, yeah, Reed and Catron come from families where brothers and their families have grown up in that area for quite a few years. And
yeah,
it's a tradition of basketball.
Makes both. 11-point ball game, 52 seconds to go. Catron bounce pass to Reed. There's Catron to Reed.
For 2. 9-point lead by the Tigers. And there's going to be a reach-in foul on Henry.
Yep. 1-1 for Neto.
Foul on Henry for first. At the line shooting 1-1 for the Tigers, Kennedy Neto.
Second one off the mark. Rebound Reed. Loses the handle. Picked up by Neto. Neto and Sherwood collide.
Henry with the strip. Look over to Catron. No, that's 12.
That's Hollinger.
Hollinger.
And a putback by Collett.
Rebecca Collins.
18.3. And Coach Bruff wants to get his seniors off the floor.
And Taylor Wood into the game for the Tigers, a senior. We had a chance to talk with her too.
Yeah.
The seniors from the
I
Tigers.
felt bad as I was asking them questions, Dave, without their number.
I couldn't remember their.
I couldn't
That's
remember
your age. That's not their number. You can find an excuse all you want. Right? But yeah, it's and I mean,
you don't
kind of know what they look like from here,
right? But when you're close,
when you get up closer, I wasn't sure. Like I said, I think I told Neto good job in the gas station on the way home the other night, but well, I don't know. I don't know. Denny into Neto, out of bounds. 16 seconds. 8-point lead by the Tigers.
Reed over the top into Collett, knocked away by Davis. 13 seconds to go.
Hollinger shot, long rebound to Rose. It'll be tipped out of bounds. 6 seconds to go. 6.9.
Personal foul on Kennedy Cater, her third. At the line shooting 1-1 from Milford, Chandler Rose. And for Milford, number 11, Sherry Peckle.
Neto goes to the bench, so that's
Let me get the clock caught up.
4 seconds. 3, 2. That'll do it. 39-31. Tigers lead. So Tigers leave this state champ tournament in 5th place.